I'm Paul, and I'm a researcher at the medical school, and I'm a physicist. So before the interval, just had Ben up doing a set. He's quite a cheery, lively, quite personable physicist. I'm the other type. And I've got to stand up here and entertain you for the next 7 or 8 minutes. Which seems like an awfully long time to me. So one of the nice things about time is that it's relative. So your perception of time changes depending on how fast you're moving compared to other things. So the closer you move to the speed of light, the faster everything around you moves through time. So basically, if you move really fast, you can time travel into the future. So if you're not enjoying yourself right now, all you need to do is get up and run around the room really, really fast, and that way my set will pass by quicker in time from your point of view, and you can get onto the next set much quicker. No one. It's a good sign so far. If you do get up during the set, I'll take the hint. But then at least we will all get a laugh at someone running around the bar in circles claiming that they're a time traveller. So, I'm a physicist, and there are some unfortunate stereotypes about physicists. Most of them are true. There's one that I sort of in particular relate to. And so physicists aren't typically people's people, if you know what I mean, which is a bit ironic given this situation that I find myself in. Who knows, maybe it'll be me that's running around the bar in circles trying to get this over with quicker. So this whole being a bit awkward around people thing was a bit of a problem when I started working at a clinic in Mindless Hospital. So I do research on the diagnosis and treatment of skin disease and cancer using light. So there's a lot of physics involved in that, which is great. But unfortunately, all of my research is now carried out on like actual living people. I wasn't prepared for this. So let me give you a little insight into how awkward I am around people and how awkward it is to be a typical physicist sort of thrown into that scenario. So when I started this job, I was shadowing one of the doctor's clinics. This was just to get a feel for what everyone was doing in the department. And this is how it would typically go. So I would be sitting in the clinic and the doctor would call the patient in. So I would sort of smile and say, "Hi, I'm Paul, nice to meet you, I'm you." So it's a good start. And then we'd all sit down and the doctor would start the examination. So we would have a discussion about the patient's skin disease, and we'd get to have a look at something like the diseased skin. And I actually find this part quite interesting. It's really fascinating. And I think to myself, maybe this will be all right. Maybe I'll be okay. But then this part happens. So without fail, every time the doctor says, "Excuse me for a moment, I'm just going to go and get something." And they would get up, leave the room, and leave me alone with the patient. So this is the part that I don't like. I started thinking that I was sort of an unwitting test subject in like a secret experiment on studying the awkwardness of physicists in clinical settings. And all the doctors were in on it, and we laughed. So I'd be sitting there with this patient, it's a bit awkward, and I'd be running through in my head trying to think of sort of what to say. So I think, well, I've already said hello, I've already introduced myself. So I think, well, I know what the next part of conversation with people should be. So I ask the patient, "So, how are you?" which is not really the smartest thing to ask someone who's just told you specifically all the ways in which they are not well. It's not even said like a kind of, how are you? You know, that version that's a bit more empathetic, that I'm really not very good at? We're kind of back to the awkward silence. The next part of the conversation, thankfully, comes from the patient. But they always ask this question that I really, really hate. They ask, are you a doctor? So when I was doing my PhD, I was quite excited about the prospect of getting to call myself doctor. Just had like a really nice feel to it. I wasn't told, however, how much of a prat I would sound going on about it all the time and correcting everyone when they call me Mister. The novelty wore off really quickly. So when the patient asks this, of course, as well, I know what they mean when they ask this question. They mean, are you a medical doctor? And of course, that's not really something you should say yes to, because that's just misleading, even though it's technically correct. But I worked far too hard during my PhD to say no when I'm asked that question. So I'm kind of going through all of this in my head. So I don't really want to rant at the patient about why this question annoys me so much, as I'm doing to you all right now. Sorry. But it's been so long, me just going over this in my head, staring at this patient in the eyes, awkwardly, in silence. Something I've got to say, something, anything. So I kind of settle for the middle ground and respond with, I'm kind of a doctor. Which, again, it's not really something you should say when you're alone in a clinic with a patient. It's really not appreciated. And they really don't appreciate when I get up and start running around in circles in the clinic, trying to time travel around the awkwardness. Although, it seems like doing stand-up comedy might be the best way of time travel, because that's the end of the set and it is really flown by. So, thank you for having me.